criminal activity. Alpha Drive 1. Kinda poopy. I really hate you. Do you know that? What the hell? Cruel, cruel, cruel. Hello, I'm Evan and welcome to the finale of Boys to Planet, episode 11. We are finally at the end of this damn show. This was truly a rough journey. Now the episode opens with Kim Jae-jung, who is the special MC for tonight, and he was a special master for Planet C. We all know how that went. Kim Jae-jung says, it is the birth of a new boy group with a romantic and energetic vibe. I did not know this was the vibe that the boy group would be debuting into. Hopefully that's not their concept. It sounds like in hyphen for some reason. This is the first time I've heard such a description for the debut boy group. Of course, as the tradition goes, we have this signal song performance, and I was expecting a big bang from the start, and I was looking at the stage, and there was only 16 trainees performing. If you have ever watched a previous mnet survival show, you will know that during the finale, they usually bring in the eliminated contestants, and they perform together for the signal song, and it's usually filled to the brim, and it looks full and happy. And for this season, it's only the 16 finalists. Mnet really said, we're gonna save money. Then we move on to the final interviews with the trainees. And out of all of them, Dongyu really hit me in the heart with what he said. He says, hello, I'm Park Dongyu. And I made it to the finals by hanging on to the single last shred of my dream. As a trainee, we have to keep rebuilding a sandcastle that is destined to crumble over and over again to make ourselves stronger. That is a crazy line. Wow, what a poet. He really killed me with that. Dongyu, I really wish you the best. Back to the auditorium, and let me tell you, my breath stopped when I saw Hanum on screen with his beautiful blonde hair looking like an angel descended from heaven. Jesus Christ, he is so beautiful. Hanum went viral on Twitter because of his amazing visuals. Seriously? Jesus. Moving along, we have the tradition of the trainees gifting the masters some letters and a present. And specifically this season, I am side-eyeing the masters so hard, except for Kani and Hyorin. We love them, but the other ones, And bless Konu and Dongyu for drawing that ugly-ass meme of Sokun because he deserved it. Literally, why did he glare at He Jong-shin like that? Side note, why is Junso always the MC for everything? Like, in all the missions, he's always the one who's leading the conversation. And I'm like, well, did they choose him, mnet, specifically for this? Now we see the final practice evaluations, and they always get positive feedback this time. Not a single mean thing escapes those mentors' mouths. This happens every finale, which I guess is a good thing. Gotta give them some confidence before the final performance. Of course, now is the moment we have all been waiting for, the group's debut name. I was having a little bit of hope, just to have hope, and that maybe this would be a good group name, like IZ*ONE or X1. And we got Alpha Drive 1, shortened to Aldi 1. I seriously was not expecting that. This is criminal activity. The creative team seriously needs to be kimchi slapped with something. Aldi, the German grocery store, they don't have those in Korea. So maybe the creative team just did not know the correlation. But I would assume that they would, search it up to see if the name is searchable or if it matches with any other existing groups. So I would assume that they know Aldi exists. But anyways, I hate that there is a space between each word. Alpha Drive 1. Why can't they just shove it all together into one word? Soon Hong-yu's face hearing the group name is everybody's face. And also we got Sokun, the vocal master, laughing his ass off hearing the name. We had a little interview with the masters and One Star was talking, and you could see Connie in the back trying not to laugh and holding it in. Like, it was just too much. And it honestly killed me when they were doing a little drive movement and every time One Star had to enunciate Alpha Drive 1. Next, we have the Brat Attitude team going on an excursion, and they're going bungee jumping. They were told to do something that matches the attitude of the song. I don't know how extreme sports are bratty, but here we are. I swear I've seen that exact same bungee jumping spot in so many of different idols' content. Now it's onto their performance, and Jahao is the killing part. Of course, they all sounded good. It was a recording, there were no live vocals, but we did see Chun Kai-win's main vocal part. His vocals sounded very good, surprisingly, though I don't know if he could do it live. Now the song itself was kind of poopy. It was not giving amazing, something I would re-listen to, like Hot Summer from season 1. And next is the Never Been to Heaven team. They went to some pension in the woods to take pictures and write poetry and relax, because they were told to do something that matches the concept of their song, and they went with healing. They focused on the heaven part because I was imagining some Lotte World adventure theme park because the song is so upbeat and happy, but they went with the Zen meditation mode. We also saw this team in the recording studio, and I was like, why did they just show only this team in the recording studio? And it turns out it's because one of the producers was Abby from Saja Boys in the K-pop Demon Hunters movie. And he said for this song, the singing style is a homage to Michael Jackson. What? I did not expect that at all. The performance starts, and I thought it was Kangmin, but then he moved aside, and it was Anshin. Anshin got the killing part. The choreography was just not it, because it made me giggle every single time they did the little hand movements. The song is really whatever. Usually after hearing the finale songs, I'm praying for a day when the debut group has a chance to perform these songs again, like Jelly Pop for Zero Base One. But for these finale songs, I hope they leave them in the dust, never again to be seen. Now tell me why Chunbei made an appearance in the finale. The damn dog. They got the trainees making treats for Chunbei. All of the snacks they made looked like butt crack, except for the puppuccino. I don't know why I've never seen a single idol who's good at decorating food. Like, I've never seen a pretty cake before. Afterwards, we get the special judges who will evaluate them for their final practice. And it turns out the special judges were the eliminated trainees. And instead of evaluating them, they wrote letters to cheer them up for the finale. Lee Yu read Zehao's letter to Shinlong, which said, "I really hate you, do you know that? So don't come back and just debut in Korea." True friendship goals. Which transitions us to the sad goodbye song of the finale called How to Fly. But the song was not emotional like I was expecting at all. It was kind of sultry, and I don't want to say sexy, but it was kind of sexy vibes. Especially in the beginning with the shot of Sangwon and the giant wings in the background and the rap that started off the song. I was like, what? Usually the intro of the song gives the vibe of the entire song, of course. And they started off with that. It's supposed to be an emotional, goodbye song. We're saying farewell to the entire show, and this is how it starts. Instead of, wow, it's the end of our journey and we're reminiscing all the memories we made together, it was, oh, I'm so sexy, yes. The Produce 101 series had the most beautiful and heart-wrenching finale songs ever. Literally nothing can beat them. When the Cherry Blossoms Fade for IOI and As We Dream for IZ*ONE, literally those two songs kill me. Those songs are so emotional, and the lyrics literally convey the message of reminiscing about the memories we made together and how we're gonna dream and move on, and God, nothing can compare. You need to go and listen to those songs and watch the finale performances of those seasons if you have not, because they really are on another level. Next is the pajama party with all the trainees laying together on the floor, sleeping together, and I hope they don't actually sleep there, but who knows. A funny moment happens when Lee-jung was getting attacked by pillows, and he said, "Damn it, I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna make some space for the debut spots. I'm gonna break some legs." It was cute. And then Kangmin started smelling his own feet, and Ijung said they smelled like durian, and I'm like, what was going on? So that ends the pajama party, and we are 2 hours and 40 minutes into the finale when we finally get to the announcements of the rankings. I'm sure you all know the debut lineup, so let's just go through 1 through 7 for now. Of course, Sangwon, Anshin, He Shinlong, Konu, Jang Jahao, Leo, and Sanghyun. Jang Jahao getting 5th was so unexpected for me. I really was like, wow, because he was able to keep his rank, and his miracle happened right at the end of the show. So he is a miracle. And he beat the first seat curse, because usually all the trainees that were shown sitting in the first seat on the first episode of the survival show never makes it to the end. But for the first time ever, Jang Jahao made it. And of course, Sangwon never lost his place as number 1 throughout the entire season, which I think is a first for a survival show trainee on Mnet. So many trainees were crying out of happiness for Jahao, and he really is loved. Then we have Shinlong's speech for number 3, which destroyed me and made me laugh and cry at the same time. The way he was mumbling his speech, it was just adorable, and you could tell he was like breaking down but trying not to break down, and it was something. The way he said thank you to his 11-year-old self for choosing this path to becoming an idol really struck me in the heart. And then we got Lee Zahao breaking down, bawling and crying. He got everybody emotional in that damn studio. Sebi from ISNA and Jisung from 101, he got everybody's hearts right there. Finally, we have the last debut spot, number 8. They showed 3 candidates, Kangmin, Liu, and Junso. Already, Kangmin and Liu were barely holding it together. They had tears in their eyes. And at this point, I was mourning for Junmin, Dongyu, and Kang Woo-jin. And I was thinking, it has to be Kangmin. Eliminated at rank 10 is Liu. And in his goodbye speech, he says, Sangyeon, I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise of debuting together. And they both break down crying. Now we have Kangmin and Junso left. And I was thinking, oh god, it has to be Kangmin. I'm praying it's Kangmin. And I was not the only one praying, because Anshin was sitting there in his chair praying for Kangmin too. And it turns out the last member is Junso. I don't know why, but for me, Junso feels like he has built some very strong walls around him. Like he has to be perfect all the time. His name got called, he crouched down like the strength left his legs, and then he stood back up, started walking down that stage, and the tears were almost coming out of his eyeballs, and he reached the end, and his tears went right back into his body. He went back to being a statue. Not a single tear dropped from those eyeballs. The eliminated trainees were more emotional than him. I can already see the Junso stands coming for me saying, you don't know Junso. Well, surprise, you don't know him either. I just need to see Junso being a human outside of Mnet's eyeballs. I was a fan of WeI because of Johan, because he was in X1, but I don't remember Junso's existence in the group at all. Anyways, I did see a fan cam of Junso, and he was crying while hugging Masato and the other trainees, so he finally let those tears out. But I just don't feel the desperation from him for this dream like I do from other trainees. Like Kangmin was breaking down even before his name was called to be eliminated. Now cue the signal song piano version, because it's time to say goodbye. The first thing Anshin does is run all the way down those steps, down that stage, and into the arms of Kangmin while crying. And this was the moment a fan site caught a poster of a movie, because it was crazy beautiful and sad. The studio lights turn off and everybody screams, because it has to be the additional Alpha members announcement. Nope, it's Mnet promoting Planet C Home Race, which is set to premiere December 6th, and it has 4 episodes, so it's going to end before the last week of 2025. What the hell? I honestly can't believe there were no extra members. Seriously, everybody was thinking there was going to be alpha members that were going to be called, but of course not. Mnet would never. Cruel, cruel, cruel. They really trashed Planet C, only to bring it back 6 months later. Overall, I'm a little about the debut lineup. But I'll get over it, like after every single survival show, and eventually come to love all the members, or be neutral. Give it a good minute, like 2 weeks, and all the people that are bitter about the lineup will move on, and the new fans will start rolling in, and everything will be better. It happens after every survival show, so it will be fine. I just pray the music is good and that WakeOne doesn't force them into this alpha concept music. Something that I feel is missing from this group is a member who loves ballads. A member that has the voice of a person who got divorced 3 times and stabbed in the back by friends. You know what I'm saying. Eyes 1, we had Yuri. Kepler has Cheon. And Zero Base 1 has Tere. Alpha Drive 1 has... and silence. No one. I am a ballad lover. I am an emotional song lover. And all the members of this group are hip hop, sexy dudes. I don't think none of them are into ballads. I mean, of course, Leo could pull off a ballad with his voice, but I don't think any of them are into that genre, which is kind of sad because usually there's at least one member who's my go-to ballad emotional song member. But we'll see if any of them are actually like that. I doubt it. My favorite part after a survival show ends is seeing the awkward phase of the debut group. You can literally watch the trainees grow closer together in real time because for K-pop groups that debut in the normal way, usually the trainees are together for years and you already see them in their perfect form. But for survival show groups, you have to see them get together real quick because their contract is super short. But for Alpha Drive 1, their contract is supposed to be 5 years, which is almost like a regular K-pop group. So I guess they have some time to get close. Hopefully the group chemistry starts blooming. Overall, Boys to Planet was disappointing and frustrating, but there were some funny and good moments. It's over for now, before December comes. I will miss the trainees dearly, and I seriously hope that all of them can debut someday. Maybe a miracle will happen, and Flare, the project fan group that is going around, will debut. Who knows? Sometimes it happens, like even from the first season. Thank you to everyone who spent your precious time watching my recap series. I'm very grateful for that. And goodbye. If you aren't on Twitter, you really should be on Twitter because that is where everything is happening. You are missing out on so much fun Boys to Planet content, especially with all the eliminated trainees. They're going around visiting cafes and talking with fans in person. There's a lot of stuff going on. So if you're missing the trainees, get on Twitter. You'll always see something crazy. Also, not to mention, there was a person who is spoiling that the roommates for Alpha Drive 1 are already out. And I was seeing that tweet and I was thinking, how in the hell do they already know? They really have a stalker or a terrible staff member who is leaking everything. And that person needs to get fired because this is very scary. Hopefully the rumors about the roommates aren't true. But if it is, call the police.